It's absurd how much I love Journey Spice. Journey Spice, non-GMO, no salt, no sugar, just all sorts of goodness and smart, environmentally friendly packaging. Pinch the top, take it off. Food tastes better. Comes in singles, 2-packs, and 4-packs. It's Journey Spice. Find them at Amazon.com. Time for Denver's best sports talk with the Altitude Daily.
This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane.
Well, anytime you lose in the postseason, it's devastating. Whether it's a Game 7 of the first round or Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final, whatever it may be. When you look back here and you know what you've learned, how you grew as a player with your line mates and teammates, what's the future look like? You seem pretty optimistic, and we're obviously optimistic, but how do you take what happened here against Dallas and then propel that for you going forward for the next 3 years, at least?
Yeah, I think it's just that in itself. I think we all said that this year, obviously disappointing how the way it ended. And obviously it feels like sky's the limit here with the group and the players that they have with Kale and Nate, Gabe coming back, obviously a big piece, a voice in the room. Val, they made quite a few roster moves to kind of go out and show and prove to everybody out there they're trying to win it right now. And as a player, I think you can't ask for anything more than that. And it just felt like a special group. And even in that series against Dallas, it felt like, more of the games than not, we were the better team and would have liked to been playing further along and still now to this day. But, hockey's a funny game. I think you learn from that how small that margin of error is in the playoffs and the opportunities that you maybe needed to cash in on to be a little bit more of a difference maker and turn the series in your favor. So use that as motivation and obviously having that same, optimism, because I think the group, going to be relatively, the same. The potential for us is extremely high.
That's the other thing you mentioned. They made a whole bunch of moves during the middle of the season, whether it was trade deadline or before that. Was it difficult to get chemistry down that quickly before the playoffs, and can this offseason help?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely. I wouldn't say it was an easy transition. I think it was a fine transition, but at the same time, I think the more you're familiar with the situation and having never gone through anything like that at the trade deadline or being traded in general, quite a different experience for me. And obviously, it was tough being away from the family. I think that was the hardest part with the kids and wife back in New York and just all that and trying to filter through and process emotions and next steps and future. And a lot of situations run through your head. So to kind of be able to be here now, in the short term, near future for a few years, will help kind of settle everybody in, I think, and will only add to that chemistry and the comfort level of, just worrying about playing hockey.
The Altitude Daily, the morning sprint.
I am typically the guy who wants to pay guys early on. Like, look at the Nathan MacKinnon thing. The Nathan MacKinnon contract with the Avs looks awesome right now. 12.6, you kidding? There's a chance Mitch Marner gets $1 million more than that in the open market, and he's half the player that Nathan MacKinnon is.
Trey Hendrickson was a third round draft pick, pick 103 by Sean Payton, actually, in 2017. His first year, he played 12 games. He had 2 sacks. Second year, he had 0 sacks. Third year, 4.5 sacks. So through 3 games, this is a guy who's been the sack leader in the National Football League in back-to-back years. Trey Hendrickson had a combined 6.5 sacks in 3 seasons. His 4th year was his Nik Bonitto coming out year, exact number that Nik Bonitto had in his 3rd year, which is 13.5 sacks. And then Trey Hendrickson's gone on to be 14 sacks, had 1 dip in 2022, and then 17.5. And now Trey Hendrickson's going into his 9th season, and the value that he has. Now, it's interesting because he started to get it on, like, just a bit of, like, you have to look at a declining career at some point here.
Yeah, because he's pushing 30. He's 29 right now.
He actually is. He is 30 now. He is 30. Different story with Nik Bonitto. Nik Bonitto is young, healthy, and he is only going to continue to get better.
If it's between 20 and 23, I'd say do it. Is that enough?
It will be. You know why it will be enough? Is because the analytics of, like, PFF, they don't like Nik Bonitto. Do you know why that is, Rush?
No, I don't. Educate me.
Where all of his stats really wrapped in.
The Altitude Daily. Columbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
We only have a couple minutes here. Why don't you just give us a brief overview of what happened in practice, and we can sort of take it for what it's worth.
Well, it was a heavy day for sure. It was a much more lengthy practice than the 2 OTAs we'd been out to.
Mm-hmm.
So take that for whatever it's worth. I mean, you're in minicamp mode. They said it'd be similar, and it was similar. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it was night and day different, but it was definitely longer.
Red zone day.
Red zone day. Bo Nix was not super sharp at all. Jared Stidham was fantastic. I mean, if we want to go old school, we want to go back in time. Jared Stidham won the day, I would say. Not that we're playing that game anymore, but Bo just wasn't quite as sharp as he'd been the first 2 days. Not necessarily a bad day. He did have an interception, but it was a ricochet, not a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
Did throw a really nice deep ball to Cortland Sutton at the very beginning of practice, which was good to see. Let's see, what else? Jaleel McLaughlin had a nice little day out of the backfield, catching the ball. Had a couple of little wheel routes there that the speed, just second he caught it, he put those burners on, and Pat couldn't catch him. Pat was trailing him, and he couldn't quite catch him.
Okay.
I mean, that's how fast Jaleel McLaughlin is. So, will be interesting when J.K. Dobbins gets in the building. What running back's in trouble?
What do you think?
Estimate.
Okay.
And then Bidet's a practice guy. Watson a practice guy.
So you like Jaleel with Dobbins?
Well, I think he's shown at least some ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, hasn't he?
I do think Jaleel's still got a skill set that is just it's unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you don't want to lose. If you had to put me on the spot today, I'd say Tyler Bidet. I know you guys are high on Tyler, and I know that
he's in trouble. Well, I get it, but that gives you 4 running backs like that. So let me.
That's not uncommon.
Oh, you think they could carry 4 on the 53?
I'd rather carry 4 running backs than 3 quarterbacks. I know that much.
Okay.
Well, you're
right.
allowed that luxury this year to carry 4 running backs since you're not carrying 3.
Yeah. I mean, so if you're carrying 3, obviously it's RJ Harvey, it's J.K. Dobbins, and then that does make it a little bit more tough.
I mean, the third guy's barely going to play. What's the fourth guy going to do?
No, I think the third guy will play. Not a ton.
Not a ton.
Well, unless you go 15 runs and everybody gets 5.
Like they did last year.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Sean Payton going to be Sean Payton or not? I mean, 4 running backs on the 53? All right. I mean, okay.
The Altitude Daily. Kreckman and Lindahl.
J.K. Dobbins is a Bronco. That is going on. Let's see. The Rockies back at it this evening.
Did you like me get obnoxious about the question with Dobbins?
I did, yes.
I've never.
You dove right in there.
Well, you know
You're
me.
looking for the scoop?
I get the tweets to my watch.
Yeah.
And Pelissero tweeted it first.
Yeah.
It says, I don't have time for any nonsense. Did you sign the guy or not?
And
to which he was like,
we're gonna or
well,
something.
We should.
And then, as the press conference was going on, we were getting more detailed information.
I noticed everyone's head goes to their phones. Like, there it is.
As to what was happening. So, yes, J.K. Dobbins is now a Bronco, former second-round pick of the Baltimore Ravens. Last year with the Chargers. Had a good year. Pretty good year. 905, average 4.6 yards per carry. The production was really good to start the season. Didn't quite finish as strong, but a good year, a good veteran back. I mean, Andy, when you look at this group of running backs, it's Harvey, it's Estimate, it's Jaleel McLaughlin. You got your Tyler Bidet, your Blake Watson. I don't think Blake Watson was there today.
Yeah, he came out late last week and was hurt. You and I weren't by that field, but he was in an orange jersey.
So that group is while talented, they're all NFL running backs. That's a lot of inexperience.
They're also
very green.
Other than R.J. Harvey, who we have no idea what this kid's going to look like, right? So I'm not making any judgments there, both good or bad. It's an underwhelming group. It really is.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, because right now we don't know what they can do.
No, and look, you didn't trust Estimate to play him in a playoff game.
Right.
The one guy you did trust and trusted him, and I'm telling you, to me, one of the more important signings of the J.K. Dobbins thing is his pass protection.
Yep.
You have to know in this offense somebody can pass pro for you.
I think one of the biggest things that I think that they figured out is this is what we employed Javonte Williams for last year. He left. We didn't replace that. And I'm sure, again, I think there was a reason why it took a little bit of time. I think the Broncos had to get in and get a look at what they had, and they said, we need somebody we know we can trust right here. We need a Samaje Perine in this room. Well, they just went and got one in J.K. Dobbins.
You've been listening to the Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com @Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.